She is a playwright, actor, and journalist, and she has a connection to Northern Ontario and often returns during the year. Trina Brooks is also an author and released a new book late last year. To talk more, let's bring in Trina. She joins us from London, Ontario. Hi there.
Hi, Tony. How are you?
I'm doing well. What drew you to the murder mystery genre?
Well, I wanted to write a book that was inspired by family stories of my family up north. And of course, with a novel, you need drama. And I thought, what better way than add a little murder in there? And once I did that, I enjoyed the writing process because it's so different when you're writing a murder mystery than anything else. And that's going to be my new way of going. I'm doing a whole murder mystery series of Northern mystery books.
And this one is called A Killing in Coppercliff, right?
Yes, A Killing in Coppercliff. I love the alliteration of that.
And where do you normally find inspiration for your plots? How do you keep things, I guess, historically accurate?
Well, that's all research, and research is the most fun part of it. My background is journalism, and of course, I learned a lot about doing research from that. And for A Killing in Coppercliff, one of the really cool things I found out was the connection between the unions and mining, because Coppercliff, of course, being an Inco mining town, I found out it was a lot like Goodfellas or The Godfather back then in the 50s when my book is set. Between the mining companies and the mining unions and the police and the press and even the churches, everybody was really involved, and everybody had their own view on how things could go. It was really a really interesting take, and of course I couldn't write the book without putting the drama of that in there as well in one of the backstories.
Trina, when you write your books, do you start with the crime, the detective, or the ending?
Always with the crime. I always have to know who the killer was, why they did it, and how they get caught. And then I flow backwards from that. And that's what makes writing mystery so much different.
Let's talk a little bit about the process. What is the hardest thing about writing a convincing mystery?
It's making sure you drip in little clues along the way without giving everything away. At the end, I want my readers to say, oh, that makes sense, but for them not to have necessarily guessed along the way. And another thing I like to do is I write in a very sort of cinematic way. I go from action to action. And you'll see that in my reviews. A lot of people mention how my books are page turners because I like to keep things fast and keep that pace going.
All right, thanks so much for your time, Trina. Continued success.
Thank you so much.
Trina Brooks was our guest, and don't forget to see more of our authors and our Northern Book Club. Head to our website, ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca.